All right, welcome back to the LeaderLink Podcast. This is your host, Charles Heasley, and we're excited to have you this week. This is a very special episode because since we did the reboot a couple of months ago, this is the first time we have a guest, and I'd like to introduce you to somebody who's very near and dear to my heart, like a sister to me, Courtney Ramsey. Courtney, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Happy to be here. The first guest. Thank you.
First guest, best guest.
I'll take that all day. That's awesome.
Yeah. So it's interesting timing because I am 1 month in. Recently took over as president for the National Speakers Association North Texas chapter, and there's some history here in this room because Courtney was the president 2 years ago. So Courtney, help me as I enter this new stage, and let's just talk a little bit about what it's like to step into that role, whether it's an association presidency or any kind of leadership role. And I think a senior leadership role, because you're not just leading one level, you're leading multiple levels.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's not forget, with most associations, you're leading board members who are volunteers.
Yeah.
Who are not getting paid.
No, and neither am I.
Neither are you. I know. That's the thing. Most of the time, the people who are on nonprofit boards are truly doing this out of the goodness of their heart and to give back. And they have the best intentions. But we've also seen, even with just the two of us serving on the board for so long, life can get in the way.
Yeah.
And when life gets in the way, the first thing to go is going to be that thing you volunteered for and you're not getting paid for in most cases.
Yeah. I mean, I almost actually hate to admit it. Sometimes when life gets in the way, I sometimes will even do things for the board just because it's a task I can accomplish and it feels good.
Yeah. Isn't that funny? Because you're like, oh, I'm going to just scratch this off my list and get it checked off. And you're knowing that's probably not the most value added thing you can be doing for your business or yourself right now, but it does feel good. I think we all fall into that trap for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So wait, let me just ask you a question though. So technically right now, you've been doing this for 21 days. You took over July 1st this year.
Yeah.
What have you already seen that's pretty much eye-opening to you as the new president of this chapter that maybe you didn't see before? And the reason I ask this is because for new leaders coming into any position, corporate, small business, association, the first month is eye-opening, right?
Yeah. So I love this association so much, and it's truly an honor to get to serve in this role. That being said, I remember my very first meeting, and I'm going somewhere with this, but I remember my very first meeting. You walk in and it's this huge production. You've got, everything looks organized and everyone kind of has a role, and you think, wow, this is so well run, and it is. But I've been on the board now for 3 years, and let me tell you that it is not as well laid out as you would expect. So I think people coming into a leadership role, especially where you're taking the helm of the organization, that everything is just a system. It's laid out. We know exactly what's going to happen. There's a number for this to call. There's a playbook for this to read. And while some of those things do exist, there's still so much I feel like I don't know.
Yes. I heard you say two things here that's really important. First of all, yes, there's so much you don't know, but also it always looks better on the outside. And then you get there and you're like, oh, this whole operation is being held together by chewed gum and paper clips. And you're like, that is not what I thought. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've seen new leaders jump into a new team and they're like, it looks so well oiled from the outside. And now I get in here and I realize I've got to fix everything, right? It's a sinking ship, or at least it feels that way. It's not really a sinking ship, but it feels that way coming in sometimes.
No, it's certainly not in any way a sinking ship, but there are a lot of things that you just don't necessarily think about before taking that role. Like the little things, the website, the email list, the different offerings we have. I almost hate to admit this, but I want to say this, that I didn't even know the different pricing models that we had.
Yeah.
And I was about to be the president. If I don't know the answer, how is the director of membership going to come to me for that answer, right?
Right.
So it's just like all the things, and I'm getting more organized. And I'll tell you that July 1st, I was stressed. I'm less stressed today.
Yay!
Yeah.
I think that's huge.
Yeah.
If anything, I thought you might be more, so that's a good thing.
Oh, yeah.
That's a really good thing. And I like what you mentioned there about the stuff you didn't know that you realized you maybe should have known, because when you think about being a new leader on any team, right? Especially if you're going from like an IC on that team and now you're leading the same team, you don't realize how much there is that you don't even pay attention to until you have to. And I think that's just human nature. I think we all just pay attention to the stuff we have to. Like even my 13-year-old driving in the car with me, like, does he know how we get to Kroger when we go shop at Kroger? I don't know. Probably not, because he's not driving. He's not paying attention. But the little things you have to pick up and know when you actually have to do that thing eventually is a game changer.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm just sitting here thinking there are, we have our first meeting coming up very soon. And I'm just thinking in my mind, okay, is my technology going to be ready? Is my team going to be ready? Am I going to have the person there greeting? Am I going to have everything? Like, there's just all these things. And what I don't want to do is wait until the very last minute to start worrying about it, because I think, that is where I will become very stressed, right? So I'm trying to slowly prepare for that time.
So I would love to hear that. Like, what are you doing? Because I think this is so translatable to anyone who has to take over a new team. Like, what are you doing right now? So when we get to August 8th, which is our first official meeting of our new fiscal year, that's not so stressful for you and the team.
Yeah. So, I'm doing quite a bit. The very first thing that I decided to do was set up a meeting with each of my board members. The past president, who is also going to be our current secretary. Mm-hmm. I did not set up one with her because I talk to her all the time. But we have a lot of people who are new to the board and a couple of people who are staying. So I wanted to make sure to meet with every single person and go over what they knew about the role. So I didn't start with an agenda. I started by telling me what you know about the role, and then we can fill in the gaps. With my program director, that wasn't really necessary because I trained her on the role.
Yes, and she's done it for a year.
She's done it for a
Love
year,
that.
and she's doing a great job. Mm-hmm. But our marketing director is new, and our membership director is not new to the board, but in a new role on the board.
Right.
So I met with each person to lay out my expectations, my general expectations. And one of the first ones is don't wait till the last minute to communicate something important. Mm-hmm. And then it's kind of funny because I went down all my expectations lists, and the very last one was have fun. Well, my new president-elect and my marketing director got together for a meeting, and they were like, no, that cannot be expectation number 11. That has to be
number one.
Because quite frankly, this board, it can be a stressful board to work on, but it's kind of self-imposed.
Absolutely.
It's kind of self-imposed.
As many things in life are self-imposed.
Yeah. And why are we doing it if we're not having fun? So they actually were joking with me about it. And I had my leadership retreat this weekend, and that was all we did. We had 5-minute business meeting. I love that. But I had my leadership team, and every single person on my leadership team is serving in the same role that they were last year. So I didn't feel like we needed to have everyone meet with their director and, take personality tests. Well, all that stuff is cool. I saw my leadership team retreat as an opportunity to just have some fun.
I love it.
And so that's what we did. We played shuffleboard, and it was just a time to connect. Mm-hmm. You saw things from people that I did not expect. My presidential advisor is a very competitive person. I did not expect that. But yeah, so I am what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to lay some of the building blocks for just getting to know each other as people, because
Yes.
where I've seen things go off a track is where things get stressful. And then instead of giving that positive intent, or that,
Yes.
like saying, no, I know Courtney, I trust Courtney.
Correct.
We start to make assumptions in our mind. And so I'm trying to head that off where I can. And then I am, reviewing the bylaws and the policies on a fairly regular basis, because even being on the board for 3 years, there's things that I'm still, as the president, I feel like I should know it better. Another thing that I'm doing is I created like a master document, which you sent me one too, but I'm also creating one
Good.
that's personalized to me. So like, here's all my board members, my leadership team. Here's some expectations that I have for them and us as an organization. And then I've also got things that I need to consider. Like, one of the things that I want to consider is building the member. We're in the North Texas area, National Speakers Association. We should have a ton of members, because there's a lot of people in our Metroplex that do what we talk about in our chapter. So I'm trying to think of different partnerships we can come up with, ways to increase membership with people who actually speak and are wanting to get into this business full time. So I'm instead of letting all that just sit in my head, I'm putting it on a document. And then in my meetings with all the board of directors, and looking at that master document you gave me, I'm coming up with a master to-do list. Like, who do I need to give access to what? At what point do I need to do this, and that? And so that's been very helpful, because one of the stressful things about being in this role is I have so many different reporting to me is not necessarily the right word, because we're all volunteers, but technically in the structure, I have a number of people who are looking to me to guide and give them direction. And so basically what I'm doing is categorizing each of those. Okay, my membership director needs this from me. My marketing director needs this from me. My programs director needs this from me. The treasurer needs this from me. The president-elect is needing this from me. And so I'm organizing all of that in a master to-do list by category. And I look at that almost every single day. I look at that to see what is it I need to be doing today or this week.
Excellent. So I heard you're doing 3 main things. You're doing primarily relationship building, you're getting to know the details, and you're making your master to-do list. And I love that you put relationships and getting to know the people and having fun as number 1. Because I can tell you, I don't know how you were when you first took your first role leadership position, but back when I did this in a corporate environment, I came into what I saw as like a burning plane with 1,000 results and deliverables that were needed to come out fast. And I did the opposite of what you're doing. I focused on trying to get my team to turn out the results and the deliverables really without getting to know them first. And that completely burned me. Because to your point, I mean, if you don't build the relationships first, 2 things happen. First of all, you assume bad intent. And the boss, whether they're trying to or not, is going to come across as unapproachable and someone who only cares about productivity and doesn't care about the human being behind the productivity. And that's never a good look for anyone. So when you start to really focus on relationships first, what you don't realize is it feels like you're not putting your attention on the burning thing, the fire you have to put out. But in the long run, you are doing yourself and the team a favor, because that's how results actually do get done.
Yeah. I mean, when you took over as president, I was really burned out after my role, so much that like I was
you threatened to quit. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I was ready to walk away from the board. But because of the relationship that you and I had built, there was no way I was going to walk away. Right. So I think I think the relationship part is critical. And let me tell you that I learned that the hard way. If for those of you who have followed along with my reels and my other podcasts, I've shared this story about when I promoted to sergeant. Now I was only leading 11 people, it was just one level. I was leading.
That's a lot. You say only. That's a lot of people.
Let's
be clear.
But that's fair. But
5 is a lot. 11's double that. So let's be clear.
But I was leading just one level. I didn't have multiple levels. And before I promoted, somebody told me that people were afraid to work for me. And
in your head, were you like, what the what?
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm not scary.
No.
Yeah, me too.
Because I truly wanted to help people. I wanted to serve the organization in a higher level.
Yeah.
And it was devastating news at the time. But it was some of the best advice that I've ever had, because it really made me slow down and think about, okay, perception is reality. If people are afraid, then I'm doing something or they have some thought about me, and whether it's valid or not, I have to overcome that. And so that's where I started. I mean, I put myself in a really humbling place. I went and I talked to all my team members and say, hey, I just heard this news. I really want your honest feedback.
Right.
And some of the things they said, I was like, man, I wish you would have told me that a long time ago.
I know.
You know, and some of the things they said was in my mind, they were truly valid. Like, yes, I can see that. Some of the things that they said, I was like, I'm not coming across fully the right way. But the lesson that it taught me more than anything else is that I have to pour into those relationships.
Yes.
Because if I don't, then people are going to make up their own narrative.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And they're not going to have the trust with you to come to you and tell you that narrative.
Yeah.
Like, Charles, in this last meeting, you came across as XYZ, or you hurt my feelings when you said this, or I don't feel like you trust me. Like, no one's going to ever have the confidence in you to share the truth unless that relationship is built first.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And it makes it easier to, you know, when I have an ask and that ask is a big ask, it makes it easier for me to do the asking and for the person to say, yeah, I'll help you out with that. Yeah,
because they want to, right? Yeah. Like, we were very clear. I did not want to be on the board again this year, y'all. I did not. But I was like, for you, Charles, for you, I will, because if you need me, I am there. We have that relationship. I will never let you fail if I have any chance or any say over it. And it worked out where I didn't have to, supposedly, right now, anyway. But that's the kind of relationship as a leader we all want. We want someone who would be like, listen, I don't want to do this thing. I don't want to work till midnight on a Friday. I don't want to work a weekend. But for you, I will.
Yeah. No, so we're missing a technology director right now, and
it almost feels like you're asking for volunteers, just in case anyone's listening.
No, I hope that our membership ends up watching this video. But you know, this, of course, I think the concepts we're talking about are applicable to pretty much any leadership role. But I do have a need on the board, and I made the decision. Despite you and your husband's blessing, I made the decision that we would go on without you on the board. We'll fill in the blanks and we'll get somebody.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. Yeah. It'll work.
Yeah, we'll
make it work.
Yeah. Let's go back to when I came to my very first meeting, and I don't know if you remember yours. I remember mine vividly. But it looks like this whole production, and it looks like things are going so smoothly. And I hate to spoil it for the listeners and the viewers out there, but problems happen. And one of the things that I respect so much about the past couple of years serving on this board is that our team works so well together to make sure that none of our members have any idea. Right.
Ideally. Yeah. And
ideally. Yeah.
Sometimes, little things happen, but yeah.
No, but I'm saying there's a technical issue and the people on virtual call, they know it, obviously.
Yeah.
But so many times something like that will happen and in-room participants have no idea.
Right. Absolutely.
Right. So talk about, because I'm just about to step into my first meeting, but talk about your year and kind of like dealing with that. How do you maintain so much poise when things are burning, but you're trying to keep everyone unaware of it?
Yeah. So for me, I look at it as perspective and how you frame it up in your head. When I used to work for JCPenney, I supported our Sephora division. So back in the day, we actually had little baby Sephora beauty stores inside of a big JCPenney. And there was so much stuff that went on, but we had the philosophy of, we're not saving babies, it's just lipstick.
Yeah.
Like, come on, y'all, put it in perspective. Like, really? No one's gonna die here, right? This is not that job. I carry that same philosophy with things like NSA. We're not saving babies. This is a Saturday morning, 3-hour chapter meeting where the majority of people are in the room. And even if that speaker had to just shout because the mic went dead and we didn't have it on virtual for the people who are watching on virtual, we can still make this work. No one's going to die. So I really think how you frame things up and how you have your outlook and your mindset is absolutely everything. And that's going to keep you calm under the pressure.
That's a good word. Yeah. I'll have to write myself a note. We're not saving babies. Send me an email to just.
We're not saving babies. It's just lipstick.
Excellent. Like when you came into your role as president, obviously, so with the way we have our board set up, you don't just become president. You historically step into it after serving a year or two on the board. When you came into it, what were the challenges you weren't expecting?
I think the challenges I wasn't expecting was not everyone is going to place the same priority and importance on doing the thing they signed up for as you are. Yeah. And people will tell you all the time, you're going to be disappointed. I don't know if it's disappointed. I think it's just eye-opening in that it's like, well, I signed up for this. I said I would do it. Come hell or high water, I'm going to do it. If I can. Like if I'm on my deathbed, okay, but I'm gonna do it. Not everyone takes that as seriously. And it's the first thing they'll be like, well, yeah, I know I said I would, but nope, things have changed. I'm not gonna do it anymore. And then you as a president are gonna have to look at what this thing is and say, okay, is it important enough for me to either take it up and do it myself, let it go, or find someone else and train them up to do it? That's really your 3 options. And so to me, that was the hardest part because in my head, I wanted to measure up to every past president that had ever been. I wanted to do all the things, not just do all the things, but elevate it. And sometimes you have to realize that you don't have the team behind you to make that happen. So you have to choose the priority that you really want to go after and the one that's a do or die, and you focus on that. You can't boil the ocean. Choose that one drop.
All right, Courtney, any closing words of wisdom for becoming a new leader, a big time leader? I say big time. Yeah, I'm big time.
No, I think you, from the very get-go, you said the thing that I would say, which is no matter if you're leading an association board, you're leading a new small team as your first time as leader in corporate, you're starting your own business. Maybe you're a solopreneur and you just have 1 or 2 virtual assistants, right? Who could be overseas. Relationships are absolutely everything. And if you can just focus on that, the rest, believe it or not, will fall into place.
You know, I love John Maxwell. Like, I think he's great. He's built a phenomenal business. His people have helped a lot of people. So don't hear this as a criticism. But I think he has the definition of leadership wrong. Yeah. Because his definition is influence. It's one word. It's just influence. And that's incomplete. What does that mean?
Yeah.
We can maybe guess, but what does that truly mean? I think the definition of leadership, if we're going to make it just one word, which I don't think you can, but if we're going to just make it one word.
If you had to try, yes.
I think relationships.
Yeah. Yeah. And that, if I had to back up, what is influence? It's relationships, good relationships. Because you don't have influence if you don't have relationships.
So actually, when I was doing leadership training for the Texas police chiefs, one of my mentors told me about a student that they had in a class that said, okay, if leadership is influence, then the conduit of influence is relationships.
They nailed it.
Yeah. That's kind of like a pet peeve for me. I
get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think sometimes we just try to boil things down to make it as simplistic as possible. And there is a lot more nuance to it for sure.
Not to get on a crazy
That's
tangent,
another thing. That's a whole thing.
Yeah. Did you know, like, one of my doctoral classes for leadership, there were, I think, 11 recognized definitions of leadership.
Not surprising.
Yeah. Every scholar wants to put their mark on it too.
Absolutely.
So, all right, cool. Well, I hope to have you back soon.
Absolutely. This is fun.
This was a good time. And I think we could talk about leadership all day, every day. But anyway, that's all we have for now, folks. We'll see you next week.